Hello. I missed story time last week. My week got a little bit crazy, so I thought it can't be on a Friday because the doing it with a kid thing didn't work. So I'm going to try it on a Thursday or on other random pockets of time that I have child free. So here we are on a Thursday. I've just done a live on Embark, and then I remembered this story that I actually read to my daughters last night, and I actually loved it. So I just thought maybe I'd bring it here. So this is a South American story, and it's called The Song of the Armadillo. Perhaps you found yourself an armadillo. I know I have too. Here we go. Armadillo loved music more than anything else in the world. The sound of birds singing in the rainforest filled his heart with happiness, and the rhythm of buzzing insects made his tiny feet want to dance. When it rained, Armadillo loved to listen to the booming chorus of the frogs as they splashed in the forest pools. "I wish I could sing like you," he sighed. But the frogs just laughed. "Don't be silly," they said. "Everyone knows that armadillos can't sing." Up in the trees, crickets were always chirping a lively tune. "Can you teach me how to sing like you?" asked Armadillo. But the crickets just giggled. "Don't be silly," they said. "Everyone knows armadillos can't sing." So Armadillo wandered through the forest, listening to the howling, squawking, twittering, drumming, warbling of music of his fellow creatures, wishing with all his heart that he could make music of his own. One day, Armadillo came upon a man with a cage of canaries resting by the side of the road. The canaries were singing with the sweetest voices Armadillo had ever heard. He crept up beside them to listen. "Please, can you teach me how to sing?" he pleaded. "I love music more than anything else in the world, and all I want is to be able to make music of my own." The canaries flitted about the cage in amusement. "What a ridiculous wish," they twittered. "Who ever heard of an armadillo making music?" But the man overheard the conversation. "Don't listen to those silly birds, my friend," he said. "I understand your wish. I'm a musician myself." "Can you help me?" asked Armadillo. The man studied the armadillo carefully. "Yes, I think I could help you make beautiful music one day," he said, "but not yet. If you come to me when you are very, very old, I promise I shall help you make music that will fill people's hearts with happiness. Until then, you must enjoy the music of others. Can you be content with that?" "Oh yes," said Armadillo gratefully. "If I know I will make music one day, then I can be happy." So he thanked the musician and returned to the songs of the rainforest. Armadillo lived a long, happy life. But when he knew he was near the end of his days, he went to find the musician, who greeted him like an old friend. "Do you remember your promise?" asked Armadillo, gazing in wonder at all the musical instruments in the musician's house. "Of course," said the musician. "Spend your last days here with me, and I shall look after you. Then, when you die, I shall make a wonderful instrument from your shell, which will play music that will fill many hearts with happiness. Armadillo was overjoyed to think that his wish was finally going to come true. He spent his last happy days with the musician, who played and sang to him until he finally fell into a deep sleep and died. Then the musician made a charango, hope I'm saying that right, from the armadillo's shell and strung it with 10 strings. When it was finished, the charango made bright, beautiful music full of life, and the musician travelled throughout the land, playing in memory of his friend Armadillo. When the frogs and crickets and canaries heard the sweet notes of the charango, they listened in wonder. At last, Armadillo has a voice, they said. Who would have guessed he would make the most beautiful music in the world? Love it. I love it for so many reasons. I love it because who doesn't want to play the music of their soul or the beat of their heart? Who doesn't want to do that? And yet how many times do we look around the forest that we walk through and think everyone else's music is somehow sweeter, or that we should learn their form of music in order to play ours? How many times are we the armadillo? How many times is our inner thought reflected by all of the beautiful creatures around us who go, you can't play it like this, or you're not supposed to, or you're not allowed to. And then on the wanders of his road, which of course is metaphorical, and him is just a form, don't get so stuck in the sexes as defined by him or her in a story. Wanders on the life journey, and as he steps off the side of the road, he had a spark of interest in these beautiful canaries who sang sweet music, and he followed the sweet music because he loved something about it. And he meets this musician, right? Teacher, divine spirit, guru, whatever you want to talk about it in terms of God, universe, right? Who himself is a musician. And he sees within this desire to play the sweetest song. And he says, I can honour that. But first, you must learn how to love where you are. You must learn how to love and appreciate all of the different forms of music around you. Like, oh, how much is that just the life lesson anyway, right? Like, to love the music, can you be content with that? And Armadillo says, yes, if I know one day I can find you and you will help me play the strings of my heart, I can be content. I can be here. So he returns to his forest and he practices the art of appreciating and loving the music that he hears around him. Until one day he knows that his death is coming. He knows he's lived a good life. But death in a story is not really death of a body like we might consider it. I see it more as a metaphorical shifting, a transformation, a death of old self or a rebirth of new self. So when he's nearing the death, and we all know when we're nearing a stage where we're required to change, to let die, to, be burnt to the ashes in order to birth the phoenix, right? Like we all have whispers of when that time is. And in those moments, you seek out your teachers. So he comes back to this teacher who greets him like an old friend filled with love. Instantly, he meets him here, not from his surface. And he says, yes, spend your last days of transformation here with me. Fully and utterly be loved, be served, enjoy The time that you have here is this incarnation. And then I will help you transform into something that plays music that breaks hearts. And that's what he did. He taught this armadillo how to take all of the life experience that formed him and play music that made everyone else be filled with wonder. And I think that's always the point, isn't it? I think that's always the point. It's not how many strings you attach to your musical instrument, it's how beautifully you echo and vibrate with the feeling of that. That is the mastery. Can you play your song so sweetly you make others cry? You can break hearts open, you can set souls alight. You can fill others with an energy that they go on to do something magnificent with. So, as you go about your day to day, listen, love, and be filled with the music of the forest and the chorus around you. But know that you're always available to hone your own instrument into something infinitely more beautiful. So be the armadillo, but be the forest and the musician and the blend of all of it that exists inside of you. I think that's the point. And find the teachers. So I hope you enjoyed story time this week. I will see you next week for more story time.